reality is always right. You may think you know better than God, you may think that you're bigger than the laws of the universe, but what often happens whenever you resist up against your current situation, and I'm not talking about the times when it is up to you to use your free will to level up beyond that, but like the times when the universe is asking you to accept your current situation, but you just keep trying harder and harder to fight up against it. Most of the time, this has big consequences, and fighting up against these things that you're actually supposed to be accepting is going to be a losing battle 9 times out of 10. Think about all the times that you tried to fight up against the rules of life, the laws of reality, things such as like when you treat others wrong, or you treat yourself wrong, you don't treat your body right, you take shortcuts, you don't put in the effort. What eventually happens?
O'Doyle rules.
O'Doyle, I got a feeling your whole family's going down.
O'Doyle rules! O'Doyle rules!
How does that usually end up working out for you? Not too good if you ask me. So, I'm gonna explain more now. Let's find out why reality is always right. Let's get to the video now. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Jared and James channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know, that must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think of this video, follow me on every platform. So for today's video, I want to bring up an interesting topic that I heard spoken about on one of the other podcasts I was actually listening to a few days ago, which is this concept that reality is always right, and that no one is bigger than the laws of the universe, and that sometimes you just have to accept what is, and build within that current framework, so that this way you could level up beyond that, ultimately, when the time is right though. You're not going to win this losing battle against God, and what you resist is oftentimes going to persist. As one of my favorite quotes goes, let's dive into this deeper now. Think back to any friendships that you had, or relationships that you had that didn't end up working out, or they were actually really bad and very toxic for you.
Claire, get up on that altar right now.
Stop it. Shut up. I didn't say anything.
When you were in them, but in the same breath, you didn't want to leave because you were afraid of being alone, or on the other hand, you wanted to push back against life. You wanted to make something work that wasn't actually meant for you, when truthfully, most likely, that relationship or friendship wasn't right for you. And that's actually the reason why it didn't work out.
We have to break up.
No,
What's that?
we're not breaking up.
Same thing when it comes to something like eating fast food. You may want to keep eating that fast food because you're addicted to the chemicals and you're so used to poisoning your body, but then what ends up happening? Your body's gonna get sick as its way of stopping you. It's not because your body hates you,
My stomach hates me.
because your body's trying so hard to survive, and God created your body perfectly with symptoms as its way of indicating to you when it's time to make a change. You may be getting really upset at life or at the cards life dealt you, when in reality, it's up to you to use those cards and play them the right way, obeying the rules of reality to become your highest self. But if on the other hand, you're going to use your free will to be more destructive,
You've gotta stop, buddy. You're destroying the entire town.
to take the wrong path, follow more toxicity as opposed to more positivity, you're gonna have to face the consequences. That's just part of life. That's just like the way of duality that's set up around us. And I believe it's actually totally out of love that we face the consequences for our poor actions. The same thing comes to any shortcuts you may be trying to take. Whether it be taking the newest weight loss drug, or following that new get-rich-quick scheme, paying all this money for a trainer to get you in shape when you're not willing to get yourself in shape, and you're not even willing to follow anything that the trainer says. Or if you're on a healing journey, as I've been from all of my major life-threatening health issues, which, as I spoke about in the past, weren't necessarily my fault, but like, there were reasons why these things came about. In this bizarre way, I actually believe that everything that I've been through has been in my favor, and it's actually been to guide me towards my higher purpose, which, had I not gone through everything that I have, I wouldn't have been able to find this. You have to obey the rules of reality. You can't be skipping steps.
You have violated the rules of warfare, dudes. Violated the rules?
Because the whole thing is, if you're skipping steps, you're going to be missing out on all the valuable lessons that you were supposed to learn at that step. There's a reason for everything, and even when you don't see it, God knows it. And if you resist up against it, you don't get to move on to the next level, and bad things start to happen, or you cheat your way to the next level, and then you end up falling down further than ever.
You're a cheater.
So what?
I used cheat codes back in the day to help me dominate.
Which is why, as I'm always talking about when it comes to my whole healing journey, the reason why I made so much progress, even though I'm not fully there yet, is because I've continued to trust the process. And the whole thing is, every time that I actually have tried to go too fast, whether it be with the detoxing or try things before my body was healed up enough and ready for them, my body spoke back to me and told me that it wasn't ready for this, or that I was pushing it too hard too fast. And the same thing when it comes to the gym, when it comes to going after any of my mine or your weight training goals. What happens if you try to progress too fast before your body's ready? What happens if you try to make too big of a jump going for that new PR? You get hurt. Your body talks back to you. It tells you that you tried skipping a step, you tried going to the next level, but you hadn't learned everything that you needed to, or you hadn't put in enough of those daily tasks added up to get you to that next level. And the more steps you skip, and the more level jumps you try to make without learning the lessons, or giving your body, your mind time to progress, the more bad things are going to continue to happen until you ultimately learn the lessons that you were meant to learn. And now getting on a more personal level, something that I've always hated in life, for anyone who knows me, knows this well about me, for anyone in my inner circle who knows me really well, you guys all know this about me, I've always hated change. Change has been one of the scariest things for me.
But you know what the scariest thing in life is? The thing in life that frightens us the most? Change.
I don't like when the people around me start to change. I don't like when everything I'm going through is going great and then suddenly everything just changes on me. But I also know that unfortunately things can't always stay the same. Energy is always going to be moving because an object that's in motion is going to stay in motion unless acted upon by another object. That's just the laws of physics.
Physics? I could bend your ear about physics and various physical phenomena.
And as much as I wish sometimes that I could actually just pause time and keep everything the same around me, I also realize that if everything stayed the same, there wouldn't be any nuance to life, and there wouldn't be more experiences to live through, there wouldn't be more goals to go after, more challenges to conquer. There would actually be no reason to keep playing this game called life. What makes life so much fun and so exciting is knowing how little we actually know and realizing how much more there is to learn. As soon as you think you know it all, and as soon as you think you've won the game of life, something comes at you, some situation, some challenge comes at you that throws you for a loop and makes you realize how far you still have to go. And going along this topic of how change has always been hard on me and how I don't like when things change, but in the same breath I also understand that I do have to accept it because fighting up against it isn't gonna help me out anymore, and it's only gonna make me more anxious and more worried. I was having a very interesting conversation with someone at the gym the other day, and he was saying to me how sometimes in life it's actually the situation that you fear the most, that you want the least to happen, that's actually the exact situation that you need to happen. Because when the event ultimately does happen to you, oftentimes what you realize is that you could handle it, and that this big monster actually wasn't scary after all.
We made it past everything, even the hideous, disgusting monsters.
And the reason why that had to happen to us is to show us our own strength and our own power, and to make us realize that most of our fears are often just illusions. Sometimes we don't actually realize the purpose of the challenges that we face until much later on. But then we can actually make sense of it and be like, oh, I did have to go through that. I did have to go through that pain and that struggle or that discomfort in order to get to where I am now. That hardest time in my life was actually meant for me so that this way I can actually level up and go beyond what was possible for me prior to this. And of course, sometimes in life, even if you are playing by the rules of reality, or at the very least, what you believe to be the current set of rules,
The rules say
sometimes we seemingly face these consequences that we don't quote-unquote deserve, but then later on, what we'll realize, if we go through it, if we face our emotions, if we feel everything, and don't fight up against it, what we'll realize later on is that this event was actually guiding us towards our higher purpose, and there was no other way for you to get there.
To view alternate futures, to see all the possible outcomes of the coming conflict.
How many did you see?
14,605,000.
How many did we win?
1.
The consequences to breaking the rules of reality don't always come for everyone right away, which is why sometimes we'll see people who are succeeding, who are seemingly doing all the wrong things, who are treating people wrong, who are treating their bodies wrong, and we'll think to ourselves, if that person could have fast success, why can't I have that? But oftentimes what I've found is that the earlier that the consequences come for you, be thankful for this, because this actually gives you more potential for the rest of your life. The earlier that you're able to learn the lessons, but also no matter what age you are, be thankful for the times when God challenged you, because I actually believe that that's actually his way of showing you how much he believes in you. And as Chance Garden said when I had him on the podcast, he said to me that oftentimes what he's discovered is that the people who go through the most challenges early on in life actually have the biggest spiritual reservoirs and have the most potential to make an impact on the world. So, as hard as it is sometimes, I'm grateful for everything that I've been through, and everything that I'm still going through, and everything that I will go through, because I know that without it all, I don't become me, I don't become this amazing person, and I wouldn't be able to reach my higher purpose without everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I don't know who's showing up, the good, the bad, or the ugly.
Clint Eastwood!
And whether it catches up to the people who aren't obeying the rules of reality and the rules of life later on in life or in another life, because I fully believe in karma.
There's no guarantees in life.
No, but there's karma, Kramer.
Karma, Kramer?
That if you do good and if you treat others right, that's all going to come back to you. And I've seen examples of this numerous times. So as long as you continue to accept what can't be changed, don't avoid the lessons, and not try to change the rules of the game, such as trying to see how much fast food you can eat before you have a heart attack, or trying to medicate away all of your problems so that this way you don't have to address any of your emotions. As long as you don't do any of those things, and as long as you continue to trust the process, stay on your path, and know that God wouldn't give you more than you could handle, and that most of these challenges are actually given to you as a way of showing you how much you're actually meant for, almost like the coach who tells you like the only reason he's yelling at you is because he believes in you so much, and that if he stops yelling at you, that would mean that he didn't care. While I fully disagree with that method of coaching, for the most part, it could definitely be an applicable example here, and I believe that if you do all those things, if you practice treating others right, treating yourself right, and acceptance of what is and what can't be changed, you're gonna end up winning, you're gonna end up happy, you're gonna end up fulfilled, and you're gonna have a ton of success. And one more thing I want to add, as Sam Tripoli often says, you don't change the game, you beat the game. That's oftentimes the way that things work in life, and Satan is always going to be tempting you, he's always going to be trying to show you the fast way, trying to show you the inverted way. He's going to show you how you can break the rules and still win. But like, when you're following the right path, when you're following your purpose, and when you're doing what's right, yes, it's going to take longer. There aren't going to be any shortcuts that are going to be worth it. But if you stick with it for long enough, you're going to get more out of it, and you're going to achieve the ultimate success, as opposed to the person who's constantly looking for that quick fix and who's following the path of least resistance and least effort. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. I love you guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.